So out of the box or out of the wall, whatever you want to call it, we have Lilo and Stitch in 4K. Okay, so I usually watch the live actions, then I watch the originals to see the reactions, but I haven't seen this in quite some time, and I'm hearing some rumors that the third act for the live action is completely different. So I said, you know what? Let me just watch this to see what it was really like. Chase Black here, Blue Futon, doing Lilo and Stitch in 4K. So let's talk about the 4K and Adobe Atmos as well. It's popping. This is Adobe Vision and Adobe Atmos, and it's very shiny. It's glossy. It looks great for a cartoon. The sound design is fantastic when it comes to the Adobe Atmos and getting the explosions, especially in the third act because it's really solid. Also getting Elvis Presley just booming through the speakers, freaking sweet. So the 4K transition is pretty damn solid. So everyone knows this movie, right? Alien coming to Hawaii and becoming a dog, and this little girl, adopts it, but aliens want Stitch back or experiment. What, 646? 646, I believe, or 686? Yeah, 646, right? So we are here in today's day and age. So this is 85 minutes, short, breezy, to the point, and this is where I'm going to get a little bit nervous because the live action is an hour and 48 minutes. Why do we need to add 20 to 30 minutes to all these freaking remakes? But anyway, we're not talking about the new remakes. I haven't even seen it yet. But this movie, it's fun, sweet, and to the point. So this came out in 2002. I think it made a total of roughly like 250 to 280 worldwide, if not mistaken. That's going to do it in this Memorial Day weekend alone because it's actually shocking how much of a cult hit this really is. Because every cruise you go on now for Disney, every theme park you go to, there is a Stitch costume to do it. Stitch is all over GameStop right now. Stitch is all over Disney. Stitch is everywhere, and it is something that it's like really big for the company of Disney now. There's Stitch Hawaiian shirts, Stitch hats, Stitch everything. And so you're like, yep, this is one of the ones where Disney probably thought, yeah, this is going to be an okay 2000s cartoon, but it popped off and home video through and throughout because you can't think of any other way. Yeah, sure, Tangled had a good thing with the horse, but Lilo and Stitch, that is something that blew off the charts. And since my mom is from Hawaii, I would say she's the biggest fan of this film, but she likes, of course, the Elvis parts, but she's like, man, they kind of make Hawaiian people look that silly for not knowing it's a dog. But I don't think she's seen it again with the older sister, saying, I don't think this is really a dog. So there's this fun, just antics to that whatsoever, and a solid story about family, about the older sister, younger sister, and Stitch trying to come together and realize what is family and what do they need to do to come together in these islands. So also speaking about the Hawaiian culture, even though my mom was like, yeah, I can't believe like they make Hawaiian people look stupid, but she's like, yeah, Campbell High School wasn't the greatest on Ewa Beach in Kauai. That's not the Big Island, the Big Island, Hawaii. But if I had, no, did I say Kauai? It's Oahu, you freaking idiot. This movie is they land on Kauai. Oahu is where Pearl Harbor is. Kauai is one of the nicer ones in Maui, in my opinion. So yes, they land on Kauai. Oahu is the one where Ewa Beach is, where my mom is from. So, put that out there. But you could tell this is a 2000s movie, and I want to say this was also the time Disney didn't know what they were actually, I just say doing, but they were calling that law, right, of like Open Range, Treasure Planet, this, and other movies that the animation studios really wasn't cranking out a hit. Pixar's a little bit different because I don't know. I think Bugs Life is more 1999. Same with Ants, and this was 2002. Of course, it's also during the 2001 9/11, and they did have to change the ending for this movie. And I think that's why it was delayed as well because they were doing something like the planes going through the city, and they're like, yeah, we can't really do that with planes going through the city in 2001 and 2002. There's a little bit of information with that. The voice acting is great. Ving Rhames is also just a complete standout. He's really the only big name person in this movie that actually has, that you'd be like, oh, I recognize that voice. Everyone else you probably never heard of are. They've also just been doing voice acting stuff through and throughout. Chris Sanders, he's a huge animation guy, and he helped direct this one. I think he also did like How to Train Your Dragon. Like he does a lot of DreamWorks and Disney movies. So I mean, good for him to having that world just combined and knowing what he's doing. But like I said, it's a breezy movie. It's a good message. I love Elvis, and that's in this movie predominantly. I'm hearing Elvis really isn't in the live action. That's gonna really hinder me because that's such a not a cool thing to do because Elvis is such a huge part because he's a model citizen, and Lilo and Stitch, or at least Stitch, needs to learn from Elvis to become a good freaking person. But yeah, you could say you could have the 90s and early 2000s antics of the animation, how, it looks good, and it does have that feel where it doesn't do anything really different, but it has the good, like, ugly duckling scene and things like that. Yeah, it's a rush. It's an 85-minute movie. It's supposed to keep kids entertained, and it completely kept me entertained, and it will keep kids entertained through and throughout. And like I said, I would keep asking my mom, like, Mom, why do you think Lilo and Stitch is so famous? And she basically said, because a lot of people want to visit Hawaii, and this is probably the closest they're going to get. I'm like, I kind of see that. Also feel bad for the guy that just wants to eat his freaking ice cream. But, Hawaii has big three things. Poi, luau's, I'm screwing this up. I'm so screwing this up. I'm a Howley right now. I'm such a Howley right now. But shaved ice, Elvis, luau, and poi. I'm not the biggest poi person, but there we go. Negatives, like I said, it's simplistic. It's to the point. Third act does get rushed, and Ving Rhames' character in this movie, the CIA, guy that's also child services now, you kind of wish he was a little bit more predominant because he does connect at the very end of the movie, and how no one is really shocked about there's aliens in Hawaii. Sure, I guess it's normal for aliens to be in Hawaii. But overall, Lilo and Stitch, it does its job. It looks fantastic in 4K, and I guess I don't remember it being this good, but rewatching it, yeah, it's a solid freaking experience. So Lilo and Stitch will receive a 4.5 out of 5 Futons, which equals at 90%. Let's see the critics' news scores gave this one. Critics at 86% of the 152 of them. Audience score is 78 with over 250,000. Critic consensus. Edgier than traditional Disney flair. Lilo and Stitch explores issues of family while providing fun and charming stories. I kind of really want to know what the Disney animations around this period were as well. I think I said them correctly. I can't think of anything else at this time. Was Hercules around that time as well as maybe Emperor's New Groove was after this movie? Maybe Emperor's New Groove was more 2005. I'm just guessing on the top of my head. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I did zero research. So we have the 90, we have the 78, and the 86. Chase out here with the Blue Futon. Like, comment, subscribe. Another thing's Bluetontopia. You Blue Futon. Thank you for watching. Great down. Watch the tape tomorrow. Week from all. You're from freaking one of you. Peace and love, and shaka bra. Shaka bra.